SBR Videos is sponsored by Sports Cash System. Click on the link below for more information. We are previewing Week 3 in the NFL here at SBRForum Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We are kicking things off right now, taking a look at the Thursday game. KC at Philadelphia with Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com. Joe Duffy is an industry veteran, very well-respected handicapper. He's 6-2 overall against the spread in the videos with us this year, and he's going to be doing every Thursday game with us for the rest of the season. Joe Duffy, thanks for being back with us this week.
Thank you, Peter. Let's pick some more winners.
Absolutely. All right. First, let's give a little plug for OffshoreInsiders.com and for you. 6-2 so far against the spread in the videos that you've done with us in the NFL. Those are not your best bets. Those are just games that I ask you to cover. Have your premium picks been as good at OffshoreInsiders.com?
Yes, they have. We didn't have as phenomenal of a week in Week 2 as we did in Week 1. We're actually 16-6 our last 22 NFL premium picks going back to the preseason. The NFL specialist I was called back since the 1980s on the score phones, and we're going to have a fantastic rest of the season as well.
Absolutely. All right. Well, 16-6 is perfectly fine with me. And I notice everyone kicked ass in the first week. A lot of people came back, crashing back down to earth in Week 2. All the handicappers, everywhere I looked, people were just very mediocre in Week 2. Let's see what we can do for Week 3, though, and we'll start it off KC at Philadelphia. Now, of course, this is Andy Reid's return to Philly, right? Philly's a 3-point home favorite, running that super, super high-powered offense. Both of their first 2 games went over. One of those games was a game that I previewed with you. You picked the over. It did go way over. Total's the total's 50.5 right now. It's a very interesting movement. It opened at 50. Someone bet it down initially to 49. I assume that's some sharp action, doing it for some reason. Now, though, it's all the way back up to 50.5. -3 is the spread. Again, I'm looking at this. I'm thinking I'm a believer in Andy Reid. I'm not a believer in Philly in general. I'd lean towards KC +3 and the money line. And, at 50.5, I have to think unless KC has some plan to slow things down, it's going to go over again. What do you think, Joe Duffy?
Well, I can tell you this, that Andy Reid, he had a mostly winning tenure in Philadelphia, but the #1 criticism far and away against him by all the fans in Philadelphia was that he wouldn't slow things down. He didn't like to run the ball. He passed. So now I would be very shocked if Andy Reid comes out with some plan to slow things down. But you're right. More times than not, in a short week, it benefits the home team. And we've looked that up. Right. We're talking about both spread-wise. But what you've got going here is, #1, Kansas City is coming off of a home game. So I even heard Troy Aikman every Thanksgiving, listen, I'm going to say it again this Thanksgiving, that he thinks it should be banned where teams would have to play back-to-back road games in a short week. That is not the case here. But what I think is quite interesting, because of that Chip Kelly offense, that high-powered offense, I would think, if anything, the short week is actually going to benefit the Chiefs, because that high-powered offense takes a lot of energy out of you on offense and the defense. So this may be a rare case where the short week is going to benefit the road team, not necessarily because they are playing on the road, but the Chiefs because they play a more traditional style of play.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. In terms of the spread, it looked, there's probably a small edge somewhere to be found, and we'll probably, figure that out a bit later in the week. But to my eye, right now, the pick has got to be on the over. Is there any reason why we wouldn't like it, even at 50.5?
No, and the Eagles' first 2 games have gone over the total, and it also went over the total yesterday. This despite the fact that San Diego twice turned the ball over inside the red zone. In fact, Antonio Gates fumbled the ball deep in Philadelphia territory. So you could make an argument that there could have been even more points scored. Again, what's one of our golden rules? Handicapping totals is much more about pace than the quality of the offense or defense. And I see no sign of Chip Kelly slowing down. He even said he wants to speed things up. And Andy Reid is one of the last coaches you would expect to come out with a game plan where he's going to try to control the clock and eat up time. So, yeah, I would be quite surprised if we don't have another at least 80 snaps per team here.
Do you think that Alex Smith and what the Chiefs bring on offense can't keep up with Philly and be able to, do their part so Philly doesn't have to score all 50 points by themselves?
Now, Philadelphia's offense, again, as I said, they're putting up fairly impressive numbers from a fantasy standpoint because they have so many possessions, but it's not like the Eagles' offense is spectacular. Right. And Kansas City arguably has just as good of an offense, and I think they're going to be having more possessions this game than they did the first 2 games. So, yeah, no question about it. Alex Smith is going from a game manager to a playmaker. Kansas City will be able to keep up with them.
All right. Well, I admit when I saw this line, I didn't get 49. I bet it at 50 on the opener, on the over. Right now it's 50.5. Is over 50.5 an official pick from you, Joe Duffy?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Absolutely.
I
Over
agree with it.
50
What
and a
can I
half is
say?
an
Maybe
official
we're,
pick.
I'm sure the whole world's going to be on this, but maybe the whole world will win. Thanks so much, Joe Duffy from offshoreinsiders.com. Talk to you again very soon.
Thank you, Peter.